Oh boy.
Hey, looks pretty
This could be good.
Sakurasou, or as it's so affectionately called here in the West, the pet girl Sakurasou, is not your everyday anime slice of life. But does that mean it's worth your time? Well, that's what I'm here to answer. Is this worth a watch? I'll take one.
Yeah, me too.
Sakurasou is a romantic comedy with an emphasis on the comedy. The plot takes place at Yume University High School, where students who don't quite fit into the normal dorms are placed in Sakura Hall, which is kind of a loony bin. This show is the kind of romance that can be a little cheesy at times, but you know that a show is nailing comedy when you have tears of laughter streaming down your face, which quite frankly happened to me more than once. Yet the show does a good job of incorporating a lot of deeper, emotionally charged scenes to help move the drama along. The show does a great job at transitioning from a bright, cheery mood with tons of fuzzy feelings to a more down-to-earth tone with a heavy atmosphere. It does, however, have its share of problems. For one, the romantic plot of the show is given the cold shoulder in favor of a smaller subplot romance. And when the show does come around to wrapping up the main plot, the viewer gets slapped in the face with one of those read the manga endings. This will be excusable for a 12 or 13 episode series, but Sakurasou has 24 episodes with each lasting 20 plus minutes. The show also has a ton of off-putting fan service in the beginning, but thankfully this gets dropped about a third of the way through. Not to mention the show's main theme is blatantly obvious and even stated aloud. However, the themes on the sidelines are no slouch. They are for the most part subtly hammered down throughout the duration of the story, with each having solid meaning and depth. Oh, and Sakurasou's writing is immaculate. All the characters bounce off each other really well and each conversation flows naturally. And speaking of characters...
Hey, I'll take two.
Oh man, I want one.
Oh man, I'll take this one. This looks good.
Sakurasou is a character-driven show, and thankfully, the main cast are all interesting and an honest treat to watch. Our main character, Kanojo, is a huge animal lover, going so far as to taking a baby cat into his dorm, causing him to be in the loony bin in the first place. Besides Sarada, we have Misaki, the eccentric but equally talented animator, Jin the lady killer, Akasaka, the shut-in genius with his computer's automatic message system, Maid-chan, Aoyama, the hard-working voice actress who gets stuck with the old friend that totally doesn't like you or anything complex. And rounding off our main cast, we have Sheena, the world-renowned artist. But she's not exactly on the same page as everyone else, in more ways than one. The show has a brilliant way of quickly introducing you to most of the main characters in the first 2 episodes, while also grabbing your interest with their unique and likable personalities. The varying levels of sanity between the characters makes for some great comedic foil. Despite this though, they all have reasonable motivations behind their actions, and on top of this, each character gets developed well, which is a far cry from the norm with romantic comedy anime.
Hot tamale, I want
Wow.
Oh goodness.
Unfortunately for Sakurasou, it starts to falter in its music department. Aside from both of the absolutely awesome EDs, the OST is rather lackluster. There are a handful of songs that work well behind a scene but fall flat when on their own. And let's just pretend the OPs don't exist. You'll forget them anyways after you skip them for the umpteenth time. Trust me, you're not missing much by skipping them. With the show loses from its bland music though, it makes up for it with its visuals. While not the most awe-inspiring and detailed art, it's quite easy on the eyes and the colors are soft yet vibrant, really helping to lampoon the general joyful tone the show has. Not to say the show can't create a good atmosphere for drama-filled bits. It cheekily uses elements like environment, time of day, and lighting, while also using a good color palette to bolster the gravity of the scenes. Sakurasou is like a long road trip. It's not necessarily about the destination, but the journey along the way. And from start to finish, Sakurasou is definitely a fun show to watch. It's not the best romantic comedy out there, but it's a good time regardless. If you're the kind of anime viewer that is turned off by jarring jumps in the narrative focus, lack of thematic subtlety, or titillating fan service, then Sakurasou may not be the show for you. However, if you're looking for a solid romance with interesting characters and a good sense of humor, then Sakurasou might just be worth a watch. Thanks for watching.
迷いながら涙を飲み込んだ不器用だ